he can approach that person. So for now, in Salani's defense, don't contact her about it. You do know that she was actually, she didn't want to put that link on his space, and I know that day because at some point I actually had to leave the space because it was getting boring. People, just forcing it and stuff. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. My Tyra, if you can take over for me, please. Let others speak.
Yeah, yeah. You can speak now, Salami.
No. I'm saying let the other speakers, whoever's next, you can take over.
Oh, okay. I was trying to add Judge Judy, and she has disappeared. But you can send your request because I accepted you, but it took so long uh, for me to say it's your time to speak. Then she went, and I'm trying to add you. Can you send your request again, Judge Judy? I think now everybody has put down their hands. Mwana, if you said something.
No, not yet. Thank you very much for giving me the time. Let me say thank you to Salani and everyone else who has been doing these initiatives. But in defense of Salani, in defense of Kuda, I just want to say something. We are talking about, there's an action that's been said now that an email should be sent to David Coltart and Daniel Molekele. Guys, let's be true and honest. When citizens came up with these initiatives that started the fundraisings, there was nothing from the leadership itself, particularly from the Treasury Department themselves. They know very well that there is no money, but they didn't do anything. Neither do they. I don't see an active participation in encouraging citizens to raise money from the Treasury Department, both the treasurer and the deputy themselves. So what happens is that when people rise up to the occasion, they see a gap. Salani, we cannot clap hands enough for you. Even Kuda, whilst these guys are doing what they are doing, we really need transparency, accountability. So, in all honesty, this was a situation whereby we say, you know what, there is a gap. If these guys didn't do what they did, guys, probably we could have been in a worse situation. Imagine all the monies that have been raised. I, for one, I parted away with nearly £2,000 in the last 2 months. Some of it was not coming direct into the space. I was going straight to for example, in Marondera East, I was actually told on the Friday that the agents have no food, they cannot go to the stations. What do I have to do? Is to send money to the people that I actually know to say, okay, you need 400 to transport people from Marondera West to Marondera East. I didn't send it to Kuda. I didn't send it to David Coltart or to Molekele because I know at the end of the day, the people are not going to get the help that they need at that particular time. So really and truly, if we are going to ask accountability, we must ask that accountability from David Coltart, Daniel Molekele. When, if you remember, there was a drive for people to become members, to register, when it was still MDC Alliance. We paid for membership. We were told by David Coltart, he's going to come back to us and tell us at a given time when how much membership have raised just by joining as a member. We never saw that. So what we have, I'm very sorry to say, if they are here or if they are going to hear this, we have a leadership, particularly in the Treasury Department, that is idle. And when people rise to the occasion, don't blame them. Well done, Salani. Well done, Kuda. As citizens, we are going to run with this thing if they don't rise to the occasion, and we'll keep doing it because we have not seen anything. Let us see a space that Coltart has come, the vice or the deputy has come to say, right, guys, I'm gonna be here with you for the next 5 hours. We are raising money. What? So really, I feel angered when people are tagged that have done good stuff. Salani, kudos to you. Well done. Kudos to you. Well done. But really and truly, in the same manner, we also ask that you guys keep giving us accountability so that we see where our monies are gone. So that's all I really wanted to say. And whoever is attacking these guys, you are not a compatriot. You just want to derail the movement, and we are not going to entertain it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manawa Pupe. Without wasting time, I think we've got a new speaker who is requested to come in. I'll give you the mic. Saidza, SYDZAH.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Inini zvangu hamundiregere ndichataura zvangu nechikaranga because chirungu chondinetsa. Anyway, accountability. Guys, nyaya accountability, I think ndambotaura hangu kune the other space, and for me it's not the first time I've been speaking about it. And when I mentioned what happened before, people started coming in saying, oh, structures, structures and all that stuff. But what's happening here is the person arguns akachkamari and a track record is imari structures. But now when we give my examples of this is what happened, people they say we don't want to hear structures. What's happening right now in Triple C, it's a carbon copy of what was happening in MDC under President Shangai. Word for word, letter for letter. This is exactly the demons which were there. Diaspora fighting Harare. Panama two issues, because like it or not, diaspora you want to control us because of Mnemari. Ku Harare, kune vanhu vanototi diaspora is a cash cow. And they will come demanding for money, and mari iyoyo vanisa mumapockets avo. Tichiri ipapo, we are saying we are different from ZANU-PF. So if we are different from ZANU-PF, we have got the organizing secretary in the organizing department. Is the person are responsible for my structures and also what's happening, who is where, what is what, which is happening where. My MPs, they must know my polling stations are. Constituents, I've got this number of polling stations. I need this number of polling agents for accountability, of which a lot of people, they don't want that to happen, but that's the best way to do it. MP now organizing department, they have to come up with one number in polling agents per constituency. They submit and agree in the Treasury Department how much each polling station is supposed to be paid. David Coulter releases the money. It's good for people to fundraise, but after fundraising, who do they give the money? In that everyone you cannot donate Mariako, you can ask GoFundMe. Okay, GoFundMe is being transparent, giving me a receipt to Mariago to donate each. But the person Arkutora Mari from GoFundMe, that's why people want to know. But people, they don't want to give that information. For me, it made me worry. These are not my words. President Panapa, it's a worry for president to involve himself. President why? That's the Treasury Department. Does that mean the president doesn't support or trust his team? So he's now stooping that law to get involved with it. Mari good donate say and no, he's not supposed to be involved in that. Organizing secretary, they are not polling agents mangani. And organizing department, they have to know the number of my polling agents. And they request money from the Treasury Department. If they need anything, whether my MP, they need my campaign material, my T-shirts, my flyers, or anything, they got kuna treasure anokuuza kuti okay muri kuda maflyers mune sample yes vari kuprinta mamboita maquotations here. Can you get quotations around? We have found the best quotation. This is the best quotation. Treasurer obata treasurer ndiye anouya kuma vanhu vari kuita mafundraising kuti guys ndiri kuda mari, then vanhu pa mari kuna treasurer. Inini I've got a lot of problems. Chete ukazotaura vamwe kuti uri kuataka vanhu, but even mafundraising groups tine problem yavanhu vanozoti maneutrals, but ukaona maneutrals iwawo maneutral but vanozopedzera vakuti havabheshe ZANU-PF. Then we have vanhu muri kuti we are fundraising for my polling agents, fine, fair and fine, that's a good cause, but maakuti this is not a political group, it's my citizens. At least we are fundraising for, we are not doing the politics panaba, we are fundraising for my polling agents. Guys, to me it doesn't make sense.
Okay, thank you very much. I have to cut you off quickly because I don't want to lose that person again. But quickly, before I don't lose Shokomrewa, Rambai Makamira, Dimi Wechi 2 after Chibaba. Can Chibaba quickly say what you want to say? I will come back to you, Saita, as soon as Chibaba na Sokomurewa, because I don't want Sokomurewa to exit. So Chibaba nekuti dimataka kuresa when you before Sokomurewa came in. Can you please go ahead?
Hi guys, thanks for the space. Can you confirm that you can hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thanks. Thanks Salani, thanks to everybody else. This issue, Yema Finances, I've been seeing it going on, and at one time Dakatumbo always or contain. At one time ndakamboona vanhu maspace akawanda vanhu vachingo fundraiser anenge aiswa 7 or malinks waya achingobuda. But where is David Coulthard when all these things are happening? Because what I know is that fundraising, munhu afanongopona mvumo yekuita fundraise for an organization even you naso kati unoona fundraiser for ZANU-PF avakubvumire kuti ungoti wototanga kuvhura chilink chako kutanga kuti fundraiser from nowhere zvisingazikanwa leadership. So I would like to hear from him, David Coulthard, kana mtu wazomunza panapa atiudze kuti are people getting permission from him to fundraise, and what's the issues around accountability, how are they being handled? Because with money inonetsa kuti the accountability, because it's easy to misuse and it's easy to misdirect and it's easy to spend. So without any accountability. Then on the issue Kuda, the first space and because I was not online, but Kuda. I think people should bring evidence. In law, he who alleges should also prove. They should bring proof of these things are because this is a person who has been working, and most of us have been seeing him, although we had issues with him before, but to be honest, we've been seeing him work. Not only him, but also other people have been working, and it would be a very, I don't think it would be a very tragic thing my allegations are seen proof. And then at the end of the day, it's also what you call it as this authentic, those allegations, and but ma destroy stare munhu, because munhu ane business rake, munhu ane life yake, munhu angachiziraramira life yake. But in the way I saw it is that he saw panga pachileka zvinhu, and we saw him achitanga kuraise even mari yemaspeaker for yana require kuti vaperfume mari yekuti pa-P systems and stuff zvichiitika izvozvo, and then at the end of the thing, then to put up. So whosoever is alleging should bring proof. Kana asina proof, then they should shut up and sit tight. What is law? President, so that we don't have these kind of issues, And also, I would like to mention it here, because there are people here. vanouya kuinbox uku vachiti handei tinoataka ningi, let's go and attack this person. And at one time there were people who came to me vachiti, can you help us, we want to attack this guy because there were issues to do with zvairezwa zvezvichinzi kuda akabva kuZANU-PF vachana naS Lumumba, then he came through Mahere. So I've got evidence, although I might not post it, but there are people, a number of people who came, fundraising, let's attack this guy. And when these things happen, we have to be honest and truthful. And this was a good use my allegations, but I want to proof. They should shut up. Because I know they just allege. Why not bring the proof? Now the receipts. Then those receipts to go through David Coulthard. And if Coulthard is not up to the task, you should also ship out, because CCC should not revolve around one person, but people should stand in their places and work. At one time, my agents are Anamari, I asked myself, where is he? Where is the finance department? Can I report? Where are they when these things are happening? Because zvisina orders akugoraiswa pamaspace, munhu wese ane link rake rakucollecta coffee, mumwe iko keshi, vamwe vari kuzitenda airtime. It has to have order. For an organization to grow, it has to have order. And kwatabva kuti atobva kuma-by-elections, we're now going to the general election. Tikasvika ikoko zvakadai, so vanhu vanenge vachidzipana, vamwe vachiuya kuinbox vachiti ngatiatakei ningi. It's not right, guys. I learned.
Thank you very much, Chibaba. To be honest, that was a valid point. I think I've learned one or two things as somebody zealous to do this fundraising things. To be honest, Mataura a good point. Yandichatanga kuisa in place from today onwards. Before I tell people to I say my account, over to you, Mr. Sokomreo.
My Tyra, are you close to Gadget? Are you close to Gadget? Because if you're close, can you mute your mic? Yeah, I was saying, are you close to Nema Electrical Gadgets? Because Murugita unge muruku bounce up like you're not very clear. It might be because you're next to Gadgets, electrical.
So I am actually learning today that the radiators, because I'm just close to the radiator, so that might be the one. Thank you very much. Okay, over to you, Sokomreo.
So I just wanted to say, guys, honestly, in Indofarira citizens, when we come on platform, just go attack Amun, please. Let that be known, right? People, we're not attacking anyone. We're just saying tungoda accountability and transparency. It doesn't mean it's an attack on a person who started a link or a fund or some, it's even munakapu amari. Be accountable. It's not a personal attack. I hope everybody here understands that. We're not attacking. All we're just asking for is accountability and transparency. Because someone like myself, it makes it very hard for me to place links and say, guys, donate, when people are also questioning things. So like in everything where things are questioned, Gatingo provided the sufficient evidence or whatever, this is what was happened, this is what was doing. Because remember, Tilivan Maka contributor, we cannot run away from that. But please, let's not attack individuals. Let's not attack people. Because Joshua, when this took place, it's because there was a gap. And the conversation I had with David Coulthard at one point, because the Apasatipane constitution, it's impossible to open a bank account for CCC. Remember, it's a new baby. So it's a process that they're looking into. And he had mentioned that after the by-elections, that will be something which will be put in place so that there's no longer a need for all these multiple links we see all the time, but rather a bank account which can be used. So I hope I've answered a bit there, but obviously people have different questions. Sorry, I wasn't sure, my Tyra, who was the next speaker. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, I've lost the speaker, Mr. Soko. I didn't want him to go, but I don't know, he's gone. But quickly, before Love More, before you, because there are two new speakers who are whooping there. So let me give the chance to the new two speakers first. Manex X, you're the first one. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, my Tyra. Good morning. I hope I'm audible to people here.
Yes, we can hear you.
I've been listening Rangu Kunyai, and I think to some extent Tagarera.
Do you mind to switch on meditative? Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Ndangandiri kuti dambudziko nderekuti takati rerei chirwere ichi for a very long time, and chirwere chatakarera is now haunting us, and if we are not careful, it's going to plant a lot of bad seeds amongst us. What exactly am I referring to? Tikada kutarisa nyaya iyoyi, we all have a common ground. Everyone as Triple C, we are fighting for one thing, kuti tinge tichinzi takwanisa kufundraiser for our part. So we have had individuals that do not want to be the bigger person. When I say the bigger person is, we do not have people who don't want to approach each other so that we can come to terms as people who are leading in terms of fundraising. Because in any a problem na Salani, I think the most important thing is to reach out to Salani. When I reach out to Salani, I talk to Salani. When I talk to her, we find a common ground. And then we come to the people, turn a one voice. This could have settled a lot of things in the long run.
Manex, can I quickly answer to that? Because I know Salam speaking because Antuudza, but ndozvisiva kuti akareza kuti kuda auye and akatomboinvitwa. When this first started, that's the little bit yandoda ngoti uwe away if you are not away. Kuda hana kulink akati kuna Salan. I was in there in that platform. Ndisati ndatosiva Salan. Akati so wakandi blocker. He mentioned that kuti wakandi blocker. That's why ndisina kuya mulink. But that's the only bit yandoda kungo answer so that Salam will say more about this. By the way, I'm just a neutral person coming from somewhere as well, but however, I've also picked my inadequacies, coffee funding. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, apana munhu wandakabloka, and you know, paunobloka munhu pane screenshot yaunokwanisa kutora inoratidza kuti wakabloka munhu. So until I see that screenshot, let's not use excuses yekuti munhu akablokwa. Nyaya iri panapo is simple and straightforward. Kuda anowirirana nevanhu veCC Diaspora Network yamunoona iripo. Vanhu vanohandla that account, they were there on the day. And these are the same people vakazoita 4 days vachiraisa mari. If you noticed, he kept on going onto the platform. So what happened was I rattled feathers with the questions I asked. So because he said he will be on my platform, akaona kuti ava vari kuvhurawo yavo, it's better kuti ndisatombobodhe kuita show up. That's what happened on the day when Kuda did not show up, and yet he had said he would be there. So this is the issues that you don't know are happening behind the scenes. They know each other. It's a group. It's the gatekeeping that happens. And this is something we can't run away from. It's very real. City, that's City, whatever, CCC Network for Change group. Nevanhu vanoholda that. Nevanhu vanohosta, vachiko-hosta, vachita say. It's the same body of people working together. So that was the issue yakaitika ipapo. So in order to make it appear as though he did something was up, akabva ati, oh, I blocked him when I didn't. And on top of it, send the screenshot, because when you block someone, it tells you that this person has blocked you. So that's not Shakaitika. So I just want to thank you, Maitara, for raising it. I think we've finished it now. But anyway, Manix, over to you.
That's all right, my sister. Inini, the point that I was trying to raise, I understand, Kuti, whatever is happening back there or in front, it's understandable. The very minute you initiate a process, you've begun a journey to healing. It's perfectly normal for people to disagree on opinions, but I hope and believe you guys are bigger than that, and you reach a common ground somehow. Now, the actual point that I wanted to bring out was, I think now we have reached a point where we have to rope in Coulthard, that he has to be very active within this system, so that at least we have somebody who can report from the party and also monitor everything, so as to have one voice from the start to the finish. We've had a lot of groups that are collecting money irrespective of here on the space. And honestly speaking, I think it's one of those issues also that he has to look at, to say, how exactly is this man coming from A to Z? And is it getting to its destination? I think now it's his job to do that as the treasurer of the party. Yes, we understand we don't have A, B, C, D, but even if we agree to use anyone's account, it's something that he has to highlight to everyone, to say, this is what we are going, these are our official accounts, this is how it's going to transpire, A to Z, and then we move on, because these are petty issues that we could have buried, and then we moved on to the next level. So I hope you guys will find a common ground. But just to speak on the MPs, I highlighted this in a previous space, and people did not actually grasp exactly what I was trying to say. Because for me, there's a point that I've always believed, and when this MP for Norton, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Themba Mliswa. When he came through, he actually articulated exactly as I had thought of it in my mind. The reason I do not see the reason why we have MPs that claim to be MPs of the people, yet they cannot come up with 10 to 15 people that can represent them, to say, I am willing to defend whatever we have in a constituency that you are representing. This is a problem for me, because if I am an MP for Glenview and I have 8 councillors within the mist, as a team, we can say we've got 10 polling stations in here, gentlemen. We need 30 people. 30 people out of a population of 60 or 40,000 people in Glenview. And then I fail to come up with such people. Then we've got a problem. This is a very big question that we have to ask ourselves as party supporters. We need to have people who are transparent. So instead of us every day vouching for these people to say we want to raise money for them, they should come and say, okay, fine, guys, look, I've got manpower, 15 people. These people are willing to defend the vote. And because they are willing to defend the vote, we are lacking resources. We want A, B, C, D. And then we can pitch in. Because imagine now we say we need to look for people who will be polling agents. And then you come across a ZANU-PF member. That person, or a neutral member, that person is very easy to buy. And I don't know, I'm not sure at a vital polling station on someone, and Katama stand, and then that guy is gone. We need people who've got the party at heart, and those people are so many. Why do we have to stick to paying polling agents? This is the biggest question we have to ask ourselves from today up until we reach June. We need to have these councillors, these MPs, raising people that we know will defend the vote and will not sell out because of money. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Love more. You can speak, and then after you, it's Tonozai next, and after Tonozai, that we'll have Tonio. Go ahead. Over to you, Love more.
Yeah, I'll start by saying congratulations to all of us here, because we've done so well by raising the money to start with, and by being here as well talking about these things. We are also doing one of the most important things, that is protecting the movement. Protecting the movement is not about not saying the bad things. If there are bad things, they have to be said. If there are good things, they have to be protected. We are in this position because as the party, let's forget pre-CC. Let's talk about as in where we started. As the party, we had no means to raise the money. There was no money, and it took people like all of us here in this space to think and act on raising the money that was needed for party activities. So here is the thing now. We've got plenty of uncontrolled fundraising spaces, groups, and whatnot. The thing that we really need to look at now is, do we have fit and proper persons running those groups? We should have the party itself coming in consultation with the citizens, that you know what, we are going to have so and so and so and so and so and so, in consultation with the party as people responsible for raising funds. Why am I talking about people outside the party being in consultation with those within the party in raising the funds? The finance department, they under quotas and Daniel. But you know what? Those people need help. Both ways. Then those people who have been sending money because they received a link from someone else, those people now will come back and say, you know what? I gave my £5, I gave my Eco Cash, my £2, my whatever it is. What happened to it? Salani goes back and say, you know what? You asked me, you guys, to share this link. People are saying, what did you do with the money? That should never ever be a problem. That should never ever you know what, for receipts, for whatnot, how this money has been used, when you haven't even contributed something. You know what, I'm only accountable to people who gave money and this and that. That's not correct. Someone is not giving the money because they are not sure if this money will be used for the right thing. But if you are transparent to everyone, including those who did not contribute, then you realize you have much more people coming in, much more people donating, because they know this money that I've worked for, that I'm sacrificing, is going to be used for the right thing. So while this we're talking about, let's talk to Kotat, let's do this, guys. We really need the MDC leadership coming in, asking and answering people's questions, asking people whatever problems they've got, because we are here today because people have contributed and people are still going to continue contributing to this. This is not a small thing. This is something that never happened before in our politics, that our people will come in, our people, you know what, will get into groups and raise so much money for things to work. We really need answers from our leadership. It's not just Coltart, it's everyone. They should come in and answer to people. When people are saying, you know what, Kuda is not a fit and proper person for this thing, listen to the people, investigate that. Even if he's your friend, he's your what, someone else is not going to contribute because they still see that same person, they still hear that the same person had money being deposited. And you know, sometimes you just need consolidated groups, 1-2 groups, that's enough. Guys, if you are going to say, you know what, Salani, yes, your role, you are so good at doing this, keep on, send the links to the people. We need money for this, we are going to be doing this, and this money is going to go there. And that person can freely send the links to the people that they know are going to send in £5, £10 at one note of the hard-earned money, knowing fully well that they will be listened to. Because you cannot ask for people to give people money when there is no transparent. It can't work. It can't work like that. We really need not throw away the bathwater with the person. No, we can't do that. We can't afford that. We need to make this thing better. We need to continue fundraising money. We need to continue because we've got bigger things coming in. We've got a bigger election, and mind you, ZANU-PF is going to spend much more in 23 elections. And we need to be there as citizens to help in whatever ways we can. There's more that we can. So let's not demoralize people by not answering to what they need to know happened about their money. Please, let's be responsible people. For now, if it means people are going to write WhatsApp, emails to Coltart as the guy who's in charge of the finances, that's good. Do that. And then when you send those emails, please tell the guy that we really need the whole leadership to come in, and we really need those people who people are not happy with to move by the side or do something else that they're good at. Because you can't tell me that you receive £4,000 and you can't account for it. You can't. You have to do that. You have to tell people that, you know what, I paid for this, and this is the receipt for the what. I paid for that. This is the receipt for the what. And this money wasn't enough, so I got extra £200 from this to sort out that. And or you know what, for your money, we did this and that, and this is £7 that's remaining from the lot. This is what was taken as bank charges. This is what was done. And then you realize we can raise much more. And then you realize that this hurdle that we want to jump, we would definitely do it. Please, guys, don't lose hope.
Sorry.
Well done for the good job that you've done. And thank you.
1 second. I wanted to emphasize on that. So as much as you know, when we're talking about accountability, if the money was then given to someone else, they should account for it, because I also feel like takunyanya ngoti kuda, but I remember a picture yakatarwa. I'm just saying, because you raised the issue of Harare, you remember. So he put a picture that if you look on his timeline, Joshua inini ndakaona achitambidza mari kuna the mayor of Harare. So I guess what we're trying to say is, even mayor of Harare vacho vakashandisa mari kuita sei. I think we'll be fair tikadaro as well. Wese papfura nemari toda kuzoti chi chakaitika. You know what I mean? Sorry to interject you, my brother.
It's okay. I was just finishing, but I will come back to that. You know, Salani talked about duty of care. It doesn't stop with one person. You receive your money, you give it to the mayor of Harare. The mayor of Harare is also responsible to come back to you and give you the receipts, so that you can also show the receipts to Salani. Salani can also show the receipts to whoever sent £5, £10, £3. That's how it works when you're raising money in communities. That's how it works when people are raising money to build deep tanks kumamisha kwedu. Kana toda kuvaka deep tank remombe, ngatiitei dollar pamusha wega wega. People write down in a book, this. Go buy cement. We bought 10 bags of cement. Yeah, the receipts. We hired a scotch card for 5. You ask him this, he says, I'm not going to answer to you. You ask him that, he blocks you. So you cannot have someone blocking people who are giving in money as someone responsible for raising that money. You can't. If you offer yourself to the people and say, you know what, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to make sure that we've got so much money coming from A, B, C, D up to Z. Then you must be answerable to A, B, C, to pick and choose people you can speak, whom you can speak to. You are not going to. Thank you.
Okay, over to you, say Tonozai, or say, I'm not so sure. Tonozai, over to you.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Nasi ya vati murikuita zvakanaka ndokuti mapanga rodzane takaregedza kuita zvatiri kuita izvi hatiburitse chimwe chinhu, but we should be very careful because my platforms amazuva anaya takangosanga And I think in that spirit, takaona vanhu vane zvipo zvavo, we don't want to be jealous. Yes, we know some of them, the past must tempt them. Kuti tive tinodhauta kuti why? You are mentioning great names already. Vatakanzwa president achiti tinotenda this young man is doing very well. Handifunge kuti vakatambidzwa mari nakuda vanotadza kuziva kuti mari yauya yakakwana here. No, the same president appointed Clifford Sachiwayo asiri kutambirwa nevanhu. The same president appointed Clifford Sachiwayo to stand for diasporas. Kuti vashande zvakanaka, hazvisi kunzi ndiye avapo aiwa tikasarudza atinoda. It will be disrespect. We accept Nelson Chamisa and toramba Clifford aita appoint. Isi tichazopiwa mukana wokuti tisarudze vamwe vanhu. We have identified the citizen who is going to lead for us. Therefore, we must respect that citizen. Zvino kana tichiti isusu takanga tiri ma-citizens, we were not in the structure. Yes, I know, I understand that. Most of us, we were not in this. I'm not even known by anyone in these structures. But I was donating in the structures. The recents, I was told in Zoom meetings, accounted every cent yakaitwa kuti ichienda uko. Vasachiwayo ndakawanzwa chitaura pamaspaces edu pane ma-citizens. Vabvunzwa nemumwe kunzi zvinhu zviri kuita sei, why do we receive certain members, ma-candidates, achiti hakuna chandati ndawana. Zvakanzi vamwe vari kupihwa asi vane system yokungokumbira more and more. But however, tine maitiro atiri kuita. We are listening to that. If I want to I am close to the president better than the other one. We know that. You are saying it. Yes, fair enough. I'm sick of vice president. By chance, that doesn't make me a class 1 citizen of Zimbabwe. No, we don't want that attitude. Inini ndakatangisa kufoma ndakanga ndirimo ndaane 2000 dzandakapase mhuri ndaane 200,000 dzandakapase mhuri. It doesn't make you a class 1 citizen of Zimbabwe. We want to come from the same level and participate. Mbava kesa kusikumbafa atizide mukati medu. Peter Brian kuti ndiri kuenda nepepa pana nokuti ndakatanga kudoneta mari mudiaspora. President achateerera inini chete. Pepa rako tinoriziva kuti zinangwa zvatinodawo here citizen. Why should we take it from you or a few professional guys from diaspora? No, we love what you are doing. That's why I've donated again today. Despite all these wonders, I donated in the structure. But don't crush our spirit by being power greedy. We want people who are going to accommodate each other. Why do you mention Mambo Sose? Why do you want to bring stories from women issues? Why do you want to do that? You are academics. We respect you, but you want to destroy the new baby. We've got ways to do our things. We are capable of doing that, but why are we doing this? I'm listening to some of this from 10 o'clock until 3:15. That was managing that thing to accommodated, which means you are showing signs of being dictators as well. The way we were treated by some is the same way you appear you are going to lead, but yet without this animal farm type of government, engaging in asi tichinzwa chichitika kuna na snowball. No, wakomana nevasikana. Zimbabweans are suffering. People are suffering for long enough. ngatiite vanhu vari sober. We have lost relatives. We have lost relatives. But the people are talking because they want now to go and lead at any cost. Okay, it's all right. Carry on. But we loved you. We loved what it started. Don't be matanga kutoita my small goals. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But I got the passion because I know you can do it. Let's sit down, totaura zvinhu zvedu. Kune imwe mikana tingadai tisina kutombozvinzwa nokuti ndinoziva kuti munogona kuzviita izvozvo. Why are we listening this? Democracy inoappear, inobvumisa kuzviita. But idei parliament inoita somutoo iwoyu yakabudirira. Ringave mashura zvinoitika chete kuma-citizens ekuZimbabwe kuti vanogara pamwe chete nana Mugwadi vagobudirira nokuti inyanzvi. Mazita henyu, thank you. Sorry.
All right, it's okay. It's okay, Baba. Over to you, Tendai Usatwaita give up.
Sorry, I was gonna say after we finish the speakers, we can close, my sister. My
All right.
time.
It's okay. Okay, Saka Tendai, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you all for your contributions. I've been listening to Love More, was just asking for transparency. But we must also note that with transparency, have you ever heard financials for ZANU-PF to say A, B, C, D, if donated this amount of money? So as opposition, we also need to take note that financial information should not be just disclosed the way that we might want to disclose it. We have people like Kotat. What we might want from them is that they might post at least sites that show us legit people to whom we can donate. Yeah, let's say they put links for Mashonaland West, Mashonaland East, Harare Province, etc. They give us links to which they approve. After that, we just donate. They are not accountable to us as individuals, but now they are accountable to the party members, the member of parliament, etc., who are part of the CC major structures. These are the ones who audit on their behalf. So long as people are happy and they have audited these financials, I think we'll be okay. But not just a general person like me to have access to the financials, to have a receipt, etc. There are a lot of people who also don't want to donate their names being given, because in Zimbabwe, we have the issue of EcoCash. EcoCash, if you remember, when it was given a limit, it was only 3 days after Chamisa had given an EcoCash agent line, if you remember well. After that, there were so many issues raised against Econet. So you can see it is very much risky to support anything with a monetary initiative to CCC. So at the end of the day, the more we demand transparency, but sometimes it does not work that way, especially with the opposition party. The way we are asking for transparency, sometimes it might actually distract, or it might give the enemy the room to try and see whatever you are doing. So at the end of the day, I don't think transparency should be given to every Jack and Jill. Yes, we can stand and watch from their sides, but Kota, they've got the people who is accountable to. If he's accountable to the party members, they just put the links that are legit, then they're accountable there. What we just need is a total sum. We have received this amount of money. We have distributed so much to Harare province. We have distributed so much to this province. That's enough. Whatever they're going to do, we don't need it, because once we know it, even ZANU-PF knows the strategy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My Rasta, you're next.
Hello, good evening. Sorry, I didn't come early. Apologies, Alani. I know you sent me a message in the afternoon. But I've got,
It's okay, my sister. Go ahead.
I've got flu and sore throat. But then I just had to come in to say something, especially with the last speaker. I agree with you. For example, zvakafanana nokuti ndakupa example yakuda because ndakataura naye during pama donations angachiitika. Akapiwa responsibility, or tomboti akaita responsibility yekucollecta mari kana kuti yekuisa link handiti. Saka zvinoone kuwanda kwatakaita kudai so tese tikada kuti titi kuda zviri kufamba sei, ndipe accountability, ndipe accountability, ndipe accountability, I think it becomes so tiring. Changa chirifanira kuti ndechekuti iya ashandisawo right tomboti link acreata zvake link ana David Coulthard ava nevari kutaurwa ava vari kuinterim kwetreasury ndivo kanga vari kuenda nosubmita, because I remember ndichimuti kuda kumashonaland central kuenda kuna kumira mushe ndachitaura navanhu vari paground robva angonditi, do you have the awards my sister, uri kuziva here maawards achona kunzi hakuna chinhu, can you give it to me, I'll submit kwachona kuri kunzi kuri kuenda manames vari kuzoallocatwa mari. So I would like to think kuti it was not Kuda's responsibility kuti ati kana atora mari yacollectwa atore achiti iyi ngaiende kuindeyo. I don't think this is what he was doing, but I think he was handing over to a certain office in the high kumusoro ikoko ndivo vaizoita sei vaizoita authorize, because pane pandikazopisa ndati Kuda kwadoka zvino manje vari vachaona mari vataiwasamirirai as soon as they authorize. Saka there was someone who was authorizing. These people who were authorizing ndo varifanira kuti vatiudze kuti mari yakaungana iri mari ende mari yakashanda sei. I think ndo varifanira kuti vatiudze izvozvo. Ndisingazive zvangu kuti like this other previous speaker zvavataura kuti tikazoda kuzviudzwawo kuti zvakazofamba sei atizoziva hedu kuti nemaZANU-PF edu zvinofamba sei, but yes we need to know kuti mari dzafamba sei. Point yangu number 2, ndanga ndichifunga kuti nini after today or in the near future patakuenda for 2023 hazviite here kuti kana paine one issue kutaurwa nezvayo zvakafanana nekuraisa mari kana kuti fundraising, tomboti pana paSalani ndiye ari kuholda space nhasi, hazviite kuti kuite imwe space uko iri kureizerwa futi mari for the same, because apa we are aiming kuti dai taita one pot, zvatikuramba tichitaura kuti dai taita one pot mari ikacentralize akaenda pa1 place zvinoita easy. Saka tikagona kumboti alright, pamaby-election apa tine vanhu vakati vakashanda vachitungamirira maspace akati araise mari, vanhu vavo tadii kuti futi vadzokorore, asi mari ichienda zvayo mu1 pot. Saka togona kuti veinformation kana tichi vanogona kuti batsira guidance Monday kunouya Salani, vanhu vese tese toenda ikoko, hapana mumwe munhu achaita zvakafanana nekuti when there is a function in your father's house iwo tinda kumboenda kupati kwamaini ndozoti vanhu vese vari kumba vakaungana for there is one purpose yatoda kuita. Ndozvana ndichifunga kuti tiite centralize one pot. Monday Salani is holding a space, ari kuita the same agenda yekuraisa mari ya2023. Tuesday kouya Citizen, vanhu vese toenda ikoko, hapana ari kuita kunga meeting kake uko. Ndozvinoratidza kuti tive vanhu vanenge vari organized, kuti hatisi kuita chibhubhubhu as if zvakuita kunge zvine power mukati, zvakuita kunge zvine chi, and yet at the end of the day we are saying toda kuraisa mari yababy wedu. Saka if we are fighting for the same baby, why is it that we are not jointed together? Why is it that hatina unity? Because tikaita unity ka zvinoratidza kuti tese tine simba. Unity is power. When we are united we can do chinhu one. Zvinokati uyu ari kuita kaspace kake kekuko achiti huyai mari kuno, uyu ari kuita kake kakachoto apa, huyai mari kunoko. I don't think it's zvinhu zvinoita zvakanaka. Tikapotidza moto tese ka1, uyu akaya nedanda rinobvira nedanda rinopfiri pa1 place, moto onyatsopfuta. Monday zvese tovatadza kuti Monday takarova. Handiti Tuesday kouya mumwe ari kutungamira, zvafanira kuti tindoenda kuchechi nini, toenda kumaconference. Hamungamboparidzwa namufundisi wani kana kanzi ari powerful sei, abva kupi kana speaker iye achinzi anogona kuparidza. He cannot preach to us from the first day of the conference to conference. Kunotomboyo mufundisi vamwe vakanyararira asi zvinhu zvichifamba same agenda. Koyo vamwe vane hoti vane fayawo zvinhu zvichingodaro. Handiti ndo point yangu yandandangouya kuti nditaure chete. Thank you so much and continue doing what you are doing. We'll get there, but it's only kuti at the start obviously zvinhu zvinombonetsa apa taida kungomhanya kuti tisanyare, taida kunyadzisa futi ZANU-PF ndo zvakaitika. Munhu aisangane shungu kuti ini tikareisa tikadai nekuku havana mari, ZANU-PF ingazotiseka, ZANU-PF. Saka I think ndo mwoyo wakaita vanhu vakawanda, tese tanga tine mwoyo wekubatsira, but tazopedza takuita nezvakuita zvichika.
Sorry, Mai Tahira, can you mute your mic? We can't hear Mai Rasta. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No. There was a bit of echo, but because one mic was unmuted, please go ahead. Sorry about that.
All right. No, ndanda kupedza zvangu kuti I think vanhu vese vanga vaine shungu. Even right now inini ka as much as ndakamboita shungu nepati yangu yeCCC, this time ndakaita shungu dzimwe dzekupedzisira because I really wanted to show ZANU-PF kuti tiri vanhu tiri vatu musatisaize. Saka munhu wese akauya achiedza kuita chiro chake ari papa achiti ngatidai zvozopedza zvatinenge zvakuita kuti neka confusion. But I think in future tikagona kuti tiite converge tese together toenda pa one pot. Monday space iri kurohwana nhingi tese toenda ikoko. Tuesday todaro. I think zvinofamba zvakanaka zvisina confusion. Thank you so much.
Salami watindi close, but ndichine one more speaker asati ataura, and should I accept end request kana kuti ndoregera?
Yeah, okay, I see Akanzi, right? Yeah, accepting.
Okay, all right. Okay, before I accept you, the one I keep on staying there. Estella, you're the next one. Amusati Mataura, I think. Hello,
Oh, hello. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Salani, for this space. It addresses an issue that I've been very concerned about, the issue of accountability and transparency. I would like to start by addressing something that I heard a previous speaker say. Ndashika a bit late, Saka. And in our history, my conversations are itika. Ndashika. So, and in our history, Anna Kuda Guti, Sagamira say, but just commenting on what I heard someone say, Kutanzi, Kuti, maybe we don't need to be accountable to every Jack and Jill. We only, like accountability should be presented to, the structures, Banvaruma structures. And the speaker gave ZANU-PF as an example. I thought, wow, what an example to give at this point in time when we are where we are because of the ZANU-PF's way of doing things. It is because of the lack of accountability that ZANU-PF has been able to get away with millions, if not billions, of dollars worth of our country's resources. And ndichiteerera President Chamisa vachitaura, and then I get this impression that vision ya President Chamisa is to do a complete 180-degree turn and face the opposite direction from where our politics has always been. Kuti kune vanhu vari in the structures ndo vanoita sevaridzi venyika, sevaridzi vema-resources, ndo vane the right for to be given accountability, and the rest of the masses you don't need to know. But ndichitarisa like politics zvadzinoitwa kwandinogarawo hangu, the citizens demand to know everything, not only zvinoitwa negovernment, even companies, private companies. It is a law that they have to publicize their accounting documents, must spread profit and loss, balance sheets. They need to publicize all of that because it's all in the public's interest. And what that does is it empowers the masses, which is I believe is the correct order of things, because at the end of the day, the masses are the ones who are most deeply affected by what the business people do, by what the politicians do. And a small handful of people can either be bought, bribed, or tempted. Tikati vanhu vari ma-structures ndivo vano, they are the ones to whom accounts are given. And if they are satisfied, then we are good with that. That's exactly the system we had with ZANU-PF. And if they become corrupt, it's not going to be easy to start, holding them to account, because vatova entitled, vatozvijairira. And nesuwo tatozvijairira is evident with, people still insisting on asking to have a handful of people make decisions for them, to have a handful of people hold, people to account for finances. It's like we are just going back again to what we are trying to run away from. What we are trying to work towards right now is a system where the people, the masses, are empowered, where they direct the issues of the nation. And that's democracy. And democracy works because hapana, there's no way that all 14 million of us can be bribed to allow Chinese, for example, to come in and take our land, because we suffer. We all see the consequences. But when you have a handful of people making those decisions, that handful can easily take a few millions, hundreds, thousands into their pockets to allow things to happen that disadvantage the rest of the masses. So I very much disagree with the speaker who's saying that accountability should be reserved for those who are in the structures. I think it should actually work the opposite way around. But I do take in point something that someone said, that by publicizing everything, we might give away our strategies. But a workaround around that could be, initially, we just give out sums, what was given to who, but after, like now, by-elections have been done, now come back to the people with a breakdown of everything. There isn't any strategy from by-elections anymore that you'd be giving away, but come back to the people who donated, and those who haven't donated because they were not sure whether things are different now, because we're coming from a history of where trust between the masses and the leaders was broken and very, very badly violated. So it's not so easy for people to just turn around and say, okay, now we trust. So we need to demonstrate to the people that, we are coming at this in a totally different way. We are going to be accountable to you. You are the bosses. The people are the bosses. They are the ones who employ the politicians. They are the ones who elect the leaders. And so the leaders should be accountable to the masses. In any case where the leaders pull that accountability out from under the masses, democracy is already violated. And I think what we are trying to work towards is democracy, not to go back again to the same system that brought us to where we are right now. But with that said, I wouldn't want to come off like discouraging the fundraising efforts which are being made. I appreciate all those who take their time to go on Twitter Spaces to fundraise, but let's just be accountable to everyone, not only to those who donated, because at the same time too, we want equality among us. It's one of the things that will take us forward. When we are 14 million Zimbabweans who are all earning on average 1,200 Zimbabwean dollars, we are better off than if there are only a quarter Zimbabweans who earn that much. So we are fighting to make sure every Zimbabwean is brought to the same standard, if it's average or a high standard of living. And we don't do that by suppressing those who have been disadvantaged already. We want to bring everybody to the same level. We see everybody as equally a member of our society, a citizen of our country, and empower everyone. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Michelle, and after Michelle, we've got Rice Kai, and then I'll hand over to Salami to close up. So in that sequence, Michelle, can you speak, please?
Hi, thank you so much. I think honestly, when it comes to transparency, you really, as a new party, I don't think you can have your cake and eat it too. I think you have to choose whether or not you want to be transparent. And transparency comes with its disadvantages. And you have to also make a decision whether you want to, live with those disadvantages and, just make it a culture. Because once you start making excuses for the lack of transparency, you know, um, you leave room for a lot more to happen behind closed doors, and then you simply, re, repeat a cycle of, what people have not wanted all this time. As a Zimbabwean citizen, I just love our country. But I think transparency is one of the most important things, because that's one thing that will um, create trust between members and a party, whichever party for that matter. Um, but when you say it's to avoid people knowing about what we're doing, I mean, we've got listed companies that publish their financials every year. Why? Because they're stakeholders, whether they have shares in that company or not, they are stakeholders that are interested, that should know, right? It's not only limited to people that are members only, it's for the entire public. There is nothing wrong with being accountable and being transparent. When you join a transparent organization, okay, I'll give an example. When I was doing my dissertation, at the time I was in another country, and there was a certain magazine that my dissertation was in mining. So there was a certain magazine that had information on what each and every mine paid in terms of royalties, taxes, and so on and so forth. So that could help me make an analysis and come to a conclusion about a subject I was researching on. But when I came here, the website here mining, no information whatsoever about anything. It's like it's for the inner circle that are in mining that should know how much is being paid government in terms of taxes and those kind of things, which is a big issue, because you can't then criticize or say anything because there's no information. I think people do deserve to know whether they contribute or they don't contribute. We're not all in the same position financially. Some people actually would love to contribute, right, to the party's growth, but they're not in a position to do so, because maybe at that time in their life right now, they are just not as, they're not in the same financial position as someone maybe in the diaspora or even who's local, who can afford to do so. So and then you then also become like the people maybe you're trying to not be like, because you're already creating an elite group that contributes, so therefore they're the ones that receive this information and they're the ones that don't. So I think when it comes to transparency, there's definitely no compromise there. You have to choose whether you want to be a transparent party or not, and that's a tough choice that you need to make, and it will definitely affect your future and your following. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. And then next is Rice Guys.
Okay, thank you. I just want to give a few examples. I don't want to repeat what others have said. I used to work with donors, and one thing they would do is they would come, like say, take for example, CEDA, Sweden. They would come to the school. What they would do, they would go to the school children and ask, do we have this textbook? Do you have that textbook? Because they would have donated the money to buy those textbooks. And the answers they got from the school children was, no, we didn't, no, we didn't. So there was no transparency there. And what they did, they stopped their donations just because of that. So, and we are also crying about transparency from ZAC. We are saying ZAC is not transparent, is not this, is not that. And then at the same time, we make a turn around and we say we should not be transparent. No, it doesn't work like that. people will develop donor fatigue. They will just say, okay, what's the difference? Let's just stop with our monies. But after all, we lose nothing. Let's see what happens. So I just want to say those few examples. Otherwise, a lot of things have been said already. I might repeat. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. You've said a lot. Right. Asalani, there is only one person who has been raising his hand and he has spoken twice. Should I allow him to speak or should I give over the mic to you to close down?
Sorry, it's okay. We've also got Judy and Tony. Can that be the last people to request? I'll accept those if they can speak as well.
Okay, all right. So Tendai, go ahead.
I think people did not hear me correctly. I did not say that Triple C should not be transparent. These guys, they need to be transparent. Someone just gave an example, I think it's Michelle, who talked about companies on the stock exchange, they are listed and they give their accounts to the public. But if you look at these accounts, they are not detailed. They're just a summary to tell you have received this much, you've dispersed this much. But with the people who are within the organization, they are given detailed accounts, including the auditors, they are given detailed accounts. But if you see some people here, they were requesting, like they need their receipts, they need every detail. So the issue with the detail, imagine today if Triple C says we are going to give our polling agents $50 per polling agent. You are telling ZANU-PF that you are going to give them 50. It will counter, then you will give them 100. You see, that's the challenge of being over-transparent. So what I'm saying is that let's be transparent on summative issues. Then people like Kotat, they give us trusted sites. Then after they give us a summary like the listed companies just telling us.
Right, I think Tendai, you're having an issues. Tendai, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Okay, so we only need the summaries. We don't need the detail because there are also people who donate, yet at the same time they don't want to be known. Imagine if with a company operating in Zimbabwe and you donate 5 million to Triple C, what will happen next? They will close your company. They will make sure your company.
Tendai, okay. He's muted. I think he's noticed that he's got some network issues.
Yeah, the network.
Toneo, sorry, Salam. Go ahead, Toneo, and then we'll have Judy. Did I pronounce the name properly? Maybe it's my fault.
You tried, my sister Salani. How are you? Am I loud and clear? I'm worried about my network.
You
Yes.
are loud.
All right, thanks. Thank you so much. So let me put a disclaimer. I know most of you guys know me as the founder of TechMake TV. I'm not speaking on behalf of my media house. I'm speaking independently as a citizen. So I must say. And this also has got nothing to do with any personal relationship I may be having with the people at Triple C. But I've been following these discussions for a long time now, and most of the issues that you are raising here as citizens, they are quite pertinent. They are very important issues, and you do have a right to be raising all these issues. And if you raise them and they are not being addressed properly, then that also becomes a problem on its own. But allow me to just quickly offer my own personal opinion around most of these issues. I've been very much in touch and close with some of these developments. I do speak very much closely to Kuda, who has been named here. I also speak very much to Mr. Mafume, the mayor of Harare. I also speak very closely even with the president, pertaining some of these issues that a lot of you guys are raising. Let me just hasten to say that I think there's a bit of confusion on how things should have been done and how things can actually be done. First and foremost, it is a bit of an unfortunate situation that most people they are not very clear about the current structures of the Triple C. as the president is always saying, be reminded that the Triple C is actually a new organization and a new party where whosoever is doing anything as far as the party affairs is concerned, they are doing this as an interim executive. This also includes people like Coulthard, who honestly does not really yield a lot of power as far as this position is concerned as the treasurer, because Coulthard is the treasurer for the MDC alliance, not for the Triple C. A lot has really happened as far as the Triple C is concerned. You'll probably not be seeing a lot of faces that most of you guys have been used to as far as the new dispensation is coming through. There's going to be a new constitution. There's going to be new people are going to be elected. There's going to be new people are going to be appointed. So a lot is really at play. Many things are really going to form out easier and better once the party forms or calls for a new referendum, and there's going to be people voted for all of these places, and we have got an actual functional executive where people are going to be responsible. But what you are seeing right now is it's a matter of an interim where people are just acting. So it brings in advantages and problems where we may also have volunteers who are fully capable of delivering certain expectations, and they are mandated. Some can volunteer to say, well, I have a capacity to have a capability to speak with the diaspora community. Can I be given an opportunity to prove, or can I also be given an opportunity to network with these people, and they can fundraise towards A, B, and C? And someone is tasked and is given an opportunity to prove his worth, and then that happens, and then maybe he does a 50%, 60%, or at times 110%. This is not the first fundraising the Triple C has done out of citizens coming through. I'm sure you are all aware of the first fundraising that has been done as far as the president's car, his vehicle is concerned. Thousands of Zimbabweans came together and they all donated towards this vehicle. Yet the vehicle is yet to be delivered. Long story short, lest I digress, citizens have always been coming up to say, yes, we want to do this and that. And when they show cause and capacity, they've been given an opportunity and a chance to do that. What will happen is you will see that there's going to be a Congress that's going to be called in, and that Congress is going to be electing people, responsible people, to take over direct control as far as certain offices and jurisdictions are concerned. That's when you're going to be seeing a lot of things shaping up. We are definitely not going to be going into 2023 with such a structure where people will voluntarily come up and say, I want to do A, B, and C, and they're given that full mandate. Some are doing this with a full blessing and a mandate to say, well, you can do this because we have seen you've got a potential and the capacity to do this. Some are actually doing this full out of their own will to say, I want to volunteer and I want to do this. After I've done this, I will then submit the monies. So with monies and volunteering and these issues, it really brings a lot of issues of accountability and transparency. And I understand and I hear where most of you guys are coming from. But I think it's very important to also add my voice into the issues of transparency and accountability. These are two separate issues. So transparency is when somebody says, I'm going to be fundraising money for the vehicle for the president. Once money for the vehicle for the president is done and found, it says, okay, fair and fine, we've got 110,000. As you can see, this has been a Go Fund. A Go Fund reflects and tells you in real time how much is being raised. So you will not get to a point whereby somebody says we've got 60,000, yet in actual instance they've got 70,000. So there are no transparency issues as far as these online fundraising platforms are concerned. What then has to be brought up here is an issue of accountability. Yes, we have managed to reach the $110,000. Where is the $110,000? What have you done with $110,000? What has been done towards it? Now, these are issues of accountability because we've been transparent with the whole process of fundraising. Once somebody hands over that money and that money goes to the actual offices that should be taking care of it, my suggestion is the onus is now upon the people who are responsible with dealing and managing those finances to say, yes, we have received 110,000. Thank you, citizens. Your money is now fully receipted or received with us as you have been fundraising towards us. We do appreciate. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's only fair then to say, well, the money has been received by the right recipients. It's now within them, and it's also within us to say we now trust the people that have been given. Now the question comes that says, have we managed to surrender that money to the people that we should have given to? And who are these people that money has been given to? Is that process being timelessly and periodically done? so that at least we trust that whatsoever that they're doing is being done correctly. And each and every time, whatever we are funding for and towards, the right recipients and the beneficiaries are finally getting this fund. It is very key and very important, so that we do not end up having conspiracies or theories that we cannot substantiate at the end of the day. So a lot has been happening. These are money issues, but ultimately I would have also felt the same. So there are many offices that should actually be dealing with these issues. There is the office of the president, there's also the chief of staff, there's the treasury, and there's also these guys who are the citizens. So all these offices are interested in dealing with all these funds, and and that's a real serious problem that probably maybe most of you guys may not be privy to. The most important thing is we have got serious needs that needs to be taken care of. The movement will need a lot of funding and monies if we need to make sure that certain needs are fulfilled. Who is the right person to be dealing with all these issues? I pray and I hope that in the shortest time to come, which we are all going to be hearing very soon, there are going to be right people put up in. People are going to be coming out to. Sorry, I'm not so sure if you can still hear me. I got a bit cut off there.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. So all I can say in a nutshell, without necessarily in due time, you are going to be seeing right offices and right people specifically do this. As far as we are concerned right now, a lot of people have been doing a lot.
We keep on losing you, Toneo.
Sorry, there's a phone call that is interrupting. I'm sorry. There's a phone call that has been interrupting me, but I think in the long and short,
I think we've completely lost you now.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I have a phone call that's bothering me. Maybe I may
Okay, reconnect and see if we can accept you again. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Right, I think the other speaker is gone. That's what I can see because the speaker is no longer there. But however, Salami, I'll just say something quickly, then I have to go because you know what? I didn't even realize good ndoshchaitika pano. I want to thank you very much for trusting me as a citizen and certain co-host. This is my first time. I don't know kuti musoro mako wangu uchifungei pawangonditi I've chosen you, can you pick up, and then ndangopika ndichifunga kuti ndichaita 2 minutes, but however ndazoona kuti no, I can't run away from this. I want to thank you very much for trusting me, but anyway, I have to go because I'm supposed to pick up mwana wangu anoenda kuma extra lesson. Thank you very much, everybody.
No, you're absolutely welcome, my sister. And also to say, ibasa redu teseri. No, just being a citizen is good enough for me. And I think a lot of people who've been on Citizen Speak Out, that's what we do. We help each other, we support each other, we talk about issues that matter to us. So thank you so much, Maitara, fantastic job. We're about to close anyway. The final things that I just want to say to each and every one of us here is that when it comes to being accountable and transparent, it's very, very important. These are situations where, especially when we keep on saying that, ZANU-PF is corrupt, is this, we also have to be different because we become hypocrites when we are not also speaking out when we see that things that are happening that we don't agree with, or that there's been misendeavors and whatnot. And also this issue of, we spoke about it, saying that, You know, there should be an issue where there are investigations when something is named, when names come up, you know, when instances are rising. We need to see any sort of investigations that happens, whether it's internal, that's fine, fair enough, definitely to be internal. We need to get the results, not to then see named individuals who've been reported or, you know, said to have done this and that. You know, because it's still an allegation, by the way. These are allegations, personal evidence and proof and stuff like that. It's an allegation until its evidence is provided and things like that. But still, that should also then raise questions as to, you know, why they continue to be in certain positions which have to do with things. So these are the reasons why citizens have been coming to my DM, this and that. I don't even know the stories, to be honest with you. And what I wanted to say, guys, honestly, like this issue of duty of care. If at any one point I really do apologize, because especially the Rally Harare, I helped with citizens on a platform, and I also put my money there. And citizens were then coming back and saying, "Where's the feedback? What happened? What? We've heard this and that." You know, I on my behalf, please forgive me. Ndire Guerrero, I also put my money there. But to me, the way I am, the way I operate is, you know, Mwarindi Jaja, or, you know, God sees all. It doesn't matter. It does, but I'm not one of those people vanonyanya kuzoziva too much. But what I do is when I feel good, I just kufamba neni, I stop. You don't see me using the link anymore and things like that, because I've come to a point where I've got questions, they haven't been answered as well, and that's how it is. So even within yourselves, citizens, never be silenced. If you've got a question about something, no one has got the right to tell you to keep quiet, or that your what you're saying doesn't matter. It definitely does matter, you know, because you matter. So that's where I can leave this conversation for today. And like I said, remember, we are better. You know, this is our baby. If we are feeding her, we need to know kupakazetika problem kuti chichaita kuti mwana azorwara isitamfeeder. We look through the symptoms, the issues, and different things like that. But to everybody who shared today, please, thank you so very much. Remember, we're not attacking individuals. We are just wanting transparency to know what's happened, chichiri kuitika, and things like that. So, like Jessica mentioned earlier, she'll look for the email of leadership. But my brother there also mentioned Kuti David Coulthard is an interim as well, guys. He was the treasurer for former MDCA, which means Kuti, we're waiting. Panima interim egg. So at this to end up, but hopefully in due course we'll know where we need to address these issues and how we do it. But from me, thank you so much for joining the space. As always, it's always a pleasure to discuss these issues, to speak out. Please have a blessed day, night, or morning, wherever you are. And remember, you're not alone. We're in this together. Let's continue to support our baby, and in different ways. And oh yeah, ndisanda kanganwa, guys. Pane wangochiti, when you talk about these things, put up people off donating. To be honest with you guys, I literally donate more when I know what's going on. That's how it works. So a person will donate when they know kuti zvinhu zvakabatana. You understand what I mean? They won't stop. So you, the haters, thinking kuti vachabva vastopa chaita say, you lie bad. We are going to do it kusvika maneta. This is our baby. We will make her prosper. But all we want is to do the proper way so we can have more people coming and donating. Pasina ma questions are not arise. So that's it from myself. Ray, my brother, you're still there. Bingo, don't even start. I'm about to close the space. I don't know why you're even requesting. Oh, all right. I'll allow you. Mana. Bingo. Noxy, Matanga. Why is it I've got certain brothers and sisters who have got this certain need to come when I'm giving my closing remarks and make the whole space continue? Oh, What are you? All right. Bingo starts. Go ahead. And then Noxy T after you can go ahead. Bingo, you can unmute your mic. You might be speaking, but your mic is muted. Okay, there's a problem there. Noxy, what? Well, we also want to side. If you're just saying hi, that's okay.
No, yeah, I just joined like 5 minutes ago. Yes, I want to say hi as well. I wanted to say, Kuti, the other lady who was co-hosting, although I was there for 5-10 minutes, she obviously did a good job. And I went on her account and I followed her, but her account is still small. So I just wanted to encourage my other people to follow her. And the other thing is, I don't know what you're talking about. Before Winder, can you just summarize what happened? Because I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Okay, I'll message you DM then.
Thanks, my brother. Tinochara DM. Oh, bingo, I end. All right, guys. That's it from us. Chibawa baba isa vanhu Noxy. Chibawa pa closing remark.
The trouble is, I don't know what you are talking about. Sarah, when the closing remark part on it. But yeah, I don't know what to say. Keep up doing the good work. That's all I can say, and we'll meet again soon.
Wow, good. Oh, I can put you on the spot. Yeah, that's what you get for coming last minute. Thanks, my brother. That's it from us, guys, here at Citizen Speak Out. See you all soon. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. And be good to yourselves, guys. Be good to yourselves and take care of yourselves. All right.
Vanambuya nana sekuru kumamisha nehama dzose dzisati dzaziva ndine shoko guru randinoda kubudzai neuso nchamisa wave nebato itsva iri dano rakatorwa mushure mekunge paonekwa kuti zita reMDC rakange rasvibiswa nemhandu ng'onzo rako michina nakupe nevamwe saka kana mave kuzoenda kunovhota munofanira kucherekedza kwazvo chiso chachamisa nemasi matatu pamwe neruvara rwemabhanana votera neuso nchamisa voterai pamasi matatu voterai neuso nchamisa voterai paruvara rwemabhanana voterai neuso nchamisa voterai pamasi matatu voterai neuso nchamisa voterai paruvara rwemabhanana musanyengedzwa nebato rezanu muchipiwa mbeu nefotereza tinoda bato rinounza mabasa kuti mugozvitengera mega zvamunoda bato rezanu rauraya nyika muzere mbavha dzinoba zvikuru